Hello, hello everyone, and welcome in Gonzalo. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, everyone. Right? Yes, it is Friday. I know what day of the week it is because I have a clock on my stream deck that tells me. Anyways, welcome in everyone. We are doing more novel prep today as it's taking longer than I thought, which makes sense. So on Wednesday, I started drawing up the map for the world my novel set in, but I didn't finish, so that's the first thing I need to do today. Is finish that. I also need to decide if I'm gonna make a digital map or a paper map or both. Well, that's more or less what I'm working on today. Continuing with world building, and then once I get the map a little more fleshed out, I'll probably come back in here and start working on adding some more details to this worksheet. So yeah, that's planned for today. Okay, I'll get some music on. First thing I need to do. I'm feeling epic classical today. That's what we're gonna listen to. And of course, the first song's really quiet, so I can't tell if the audio is mixed properly. It should be. Might be a little quiet, but I'll adjust it later. But yeah. So yeah, as always, let me know if the audio needs adjusting. And then feel free to chat, feel free to lurk, do whatever you want to do. Feel free to ask me questions about what I'm doing. I'm happy to talk about it. But yeah, if there's nothing anyone wants to talk about at the moment, I think I will go ahead and get started. I need to pull out my notes, figure out where I left off on Wednesday, and then, yeah, where I need to go to next. But yeah, feel free to chat, feel free to lurk. I hope we all have a relaxing and or productive day in the guild today. I used today twice in that sentence. Anyways, let's get to work. Father, I meant to grab graph paper before I sat down at my desk, but I forgot, so maybe I won't be doing the map on paper. I knew I was forgetting to do something this morning. I needed to find graph paper, and I forgot. Where even is my graph paper at the moment? Well. I mean, I guess I don't really need graph paper right now. Because the novel I'm currently prepping for, it's actually only going to be in like a... Okay. As far as I know, so far, the novel I'm working on is only gonna be in like a small portion of this world anyways. So the full, basically, the full world map doesn't actually need to be that detailed right now. Yeah. Because the story is gonna be set in just a small part of it. I don't necessarily need to release like the full map along with the story. Okay, I'll just do like a rough sketch. I won't bother pulling out graph paper and everything this time, because I don't know where my graph paper is. Plus, I might actually want to... if I'm going that detailed, I might want to do a digital version. I think I want to hand sketch it first. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. I could draw digital. I did not think this through very well. Because it would make sense to draw it digitally, but in order to do that, I'd really have to rearrange my whole desk to set up my digital drawing setup. So I'm just gonna do it on paper. Make a bigger sketch of my little sketch, and then later I can use that bigger sketch to make a proper digital map. Okay. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Yeah, so on Wednesday, I calculated the size of the map and the approximate size of each continent and island cluster. I guess maybe actually... I need to draw the map right now, or if... enough for... okay. Okay, so this is basically what I need to work on. Is deciding the like different ecosystems and stuff. Different environments on at least some of the continents. Okay, I'm gonna work on okay, so I think what I'll actually do, I'll go in here and start working on just like taking notes on details of continents and island groups. I don't really need this. No. That's fine. Okay. I want to format this. I guess we have like sub-bullets of sub-bullets. That's fine. Okay. Good question. So, at the moment, the two places you can find my writing are my blog, which is mostly little short stories at the moment. And then my fan fiction is on AO3. And those are currently the only two places. I haven't decided where I'm gonna post this novel. Yeah, that's one of the things I need to figure out. But yeah, so at the moment, there's my socials link, so that's where all my stuff is. But yeah, so at the moment, I have like short stories that's a mix of VTuber lore and other stuff on my blog, and then fanfiction on AO3. And I will keep you updated on where I end up posting this next novel, because I haven't decided yet. And same for my... Well, okay, so I have one novel that I wrote when I was like a teenager that is semi-finished, but I haven't published it anywhere. But I might figure out somewhere to publish that. And then my other like big, basically epic fantasy novel I'm slowly working on. So I don't actually have any novels posted anywhere, but soon, hopefully, I'll get something up. I want to, I haven't finished them or figured out where to post them. Oh, and I still have there's some poetry up on Patreon. I haven't like updated my Patreon. I kind of unofficially disbanded it. But there's some writing stuff up there too. But yeah, mostly it's a blog in AO3. And yeah, I need to figure out a good place to post novel length stuff once I finish them. But yeah. Okay, I can't decide how I want to format this section. I'm also slightly annoyed at myself when I did all these calculations, for like distances and stuff. I did everything in miles because that's just the speed that came up when I googled like how fast does a horse travel. It was all in miles per hour. So now which makes sense. It's like I do think it speeds in miles per hour, but then I think distances more in meters because of my like science background. So I hate doing graphics or like a chart, or not a graph. But my graph essentially is in miles and it just feels wrong. But to change to meters, I'd have to recalculate all the velocities, which I could do. But I don't know if it's actually worth it to change all the units, just because it feels weird to have things in miles. We'll just leave it for now. Although, wait. I do kind of need to decide. No, okay, I'll just leave it as it is. Because I have nice numbers right now. And if I converted it, then the numbers would get funky. So never mind. We're gonna leave it in miles. Even though it feels wrong to list distances in miles because I'm so used to physics where it's all meters. Okay, so the main continent. Oh. There's more tape. Okay. Main continent is okay. At the moment I'm basically just copying down my handwritten notes, but that's fine. It's good to have 2 copies of things. Okay. Yeah, I think the descriptions for most of these will be relatively vague because I don't think this novel's ever going to go to these areas. I'll probably do just really like rough bullet points, and then I will develop it more when I write a story that deals with these continents. So I don't think it's really worth my time to like detail plan like every area in this world when the story I'm writing is going to be on one continent. So like basically this might be as much details as I need for this right now. Actually, what I should do, I need to pull up, like, well, I guess I do need some more details on, like, the ecosystems and such. Well, I am gonna go over to Google and pull up a list of ecosystems. Okay, I don't know if this is actually going to help me at all. I don't think I actually needed a list to be able to do this. That's okay. I know the western continent is going to be mostly forest. Do I want a desert ecosystem anywhere? If I did, I'd probably put that on the east continent. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Okay, actually, let me put the rest of my let me do the basic notes for the other continents, and then I'll start working in figuring out ecosystems and such. What? Why did my headphones disconnect? What happened? I'm very confused. Really? What? Why did my headphones go away? I've been having so many audio issues lately. It's very strange. Hopefully the audio is still fine for you. I can't actually tell because I can't hear anything at the moment. There we go. I fixed it. That was very strange. Basically my computer and my headphones have not been playing nicely the last few days. They just like keep disconnecting from each other. That was annoying. Hopefully the audio didn't get messed up at all on your guys' side. I don't think it should have. I think it was just my headphones. It's very annoying though. Okay, now back to what I was working on before my computer was mean to me. Where was I? Okay. Okay, yeah, so see there are these 5 areas, but this novel I'm gonna write is basically just gonna be on the West Continent. That's the one I care about the most. This continent will be at least mostly forest. I can, you know, spell. Really trying to figure out how much details I need to give for the other parts of the world, or if I just need to focus on the west one. Yeah, probably I just need to focus on the west one. Like, the other continents might be mentioned. Oh, yeah, I'll add details to those as relevant. Yeah, west continent. Mostly forests. But obviously there'll be... not coats, there'll be coasts. Coast. There we go. I can write today. Next question is, are there mountains? I mean, it's a relatively small continent, so I don't know if that affects anything. I think for now, I don't know. Are there mountains on this continent? And if so, of like what size? I'm kind of leaning towards it being kind of hilly. There aren't any particularly defined mountains. Yeah, I think I'll put the mountain somewhere else. Yeah, we'll do that. Hilly, but no mountains. Using, you know, my definition of mountains. Using the definition of mountains of someone who lives near mountains. Because, yeah, I like joking that, you know, people in the UK talk about, you know, going up to their mountains. And, like, those aren't mountains. Those are big hills. So the West Continent may have big hills, but not mountains. There will be mountains somewhere, though. Mountains are cool. Just not on this one, I don't think. There will be at least one river. Probably more than one. I'll decide that when I actually draw the detailed map, but yeah, at least one more. So I think that's pretty good. The main thing is I guess I should specify the type of forest. It's a big evergreen forest. Well, yeah. Like, primarily. Obviously there will be, it's not just like evergreen trees, but there's a large percentage that are evergreen trees. Hey dragon, welcome in. How you doing? I'm currently doing world building and deciding ecosystems of the different parts of my world. I kind of want to put, I kind of want to put wetlands over there. I'm doing good. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing world building this week. It's very nice because I haven't done much writing the last few weeks, so it's nice to get back into it and start planning a story to write and doing other fun stuff, playing fun games, streaming on YouTube for the first time. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's been fun. Yes, I think the main continent will have wetlands and obviously coasts. I think mountains also. I think I'll put the mountains on the main. And the east continent might be grasslands, maybe? I think the east continent will be grasslands. That's the like primary thing. Well, maybe lakes. Grasslands and lakes. Nice place to start anyways. Why do I keep typing coats instead of coasts? I cannot spell today. Or I can't type today. There we go. Yeah, since I'm doing ecosystems, I might as well put some notes on basic resources. So like, the main continent will probably have more mining stuff because they have all the, you know, mountains. And then the east continent will be more farming. And then the west continent will be like lumber and foraging, I guess is the best way to say that. I can as for the islands, I really haven't thought much about the islands, and I might just kind of skip over those for now because I feel like that's, well, But I definitely don't think they'll go to the islands at all in this novel. I cannot type today. My goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skip the islands for now, because I need to give those a bit more thought of what I want to do. Okay. I do not need this song. That's kind of unpleasant. Okay. Because I need to think a bit more what I want to do with the islands. Okay. Okay, this is a good start. Okay, say it has fewer types of ecosystems, but I don't know that's really true. So we'll just leave with live on Earth. Okay. Okay, I think I have the details of like the physical locations of the world developed enough for now. Like I need to make a detailed map of at least the west continent, but I'll do that later. So I guess now I need to stop putting it off and work on the like history and politics structure of this world. I think I'm gonna start down here and figure out what the like government structure and the like social structure is. At least, you know, broadly speaking. Okay, I need to actually add, or actually need to put on my to-do list, like add a thinking face for my model. I think that'd be funny. Like, I mean, it could just be like a thought bubble or something. That'd be easy enough to do. I should do that. At times like this when I'm just like staring off into space thinking. Let me see what this link is. Oh yeah, that's a classic one. Yeah, that would be fun to do like a thinking man pose, but I'm not sure how I would do that in a way that makes sense. Like honestly, I think it would be fun just to have like a thought bubble, so kind of like this one, only with a different face, and replace the Z's with a thinking bubble. That's what I think I might do. Is there a reason why everything needs to be written down? Yes and no. I find it easier to have things written down so I can like make sure I'm saying like consistent and stuff while I'm writing, and then also it does help me kind of picture the world I'm putting the characters in before I start writing. But that being said, this process doesn't work for everyone. In fact, I don't usually do this. This is the first time I've done this kind of structured world building before I start writing. So it's just a different way to plan your novel, basically. And the other reason I'm doing it for this one is because I'm going to use this world in multiple stories. So it'll be useful to have this all written down. So when I, move on to the next story, I don't have to like remember everything I planned. That's the other reason I'm being more difficult. And as for the what the world smells like question, honestly, I don't think I'm going to answer that one. I just find it very amusing. I copied that from another worksheet. And I just thought it was an amusing and interesting question, but I don't think it's going to be relevant to my stories at all. Like, I feel like that question only makes sense if like you're in a world that has a very distinctive smell. It's like, it makes me think of like a steampunk world or a sci-fi world, or just some story where the smell makes sense. But then like for my story, I don't think it's gonna really make sense because the world doesn't really have a distinctive smell. It's like if I answer that question for this story, it's going to be the world smells like a forest because it's set in a forest, which isn't exactly interesting. But then like I could see like if you're doing like a steampunk world or like some steampunk world, what am I trying to say? Sci-fi world, it could be useful. Or if like your world has like part of the plot is like class differences, for example. So you have like part of your world and like the slums will smell a certain way to kind of convey the class differences, whereas if you compare it to like the upper class, that will smell differently. So it is an interesting question to consider how you can use smell in your storytelling, but I don't think my story will really have a use for that. So it's on there because it's a funny and interesting question, but yeah, it's not really relevant for this one. But yeah, so. But yeah, so yeah, basically the main reason I'm being so detailed this time is that I'm going to use this world for a plan anyways, is to use this world for multiple writing projects over an extended period of time. And if I don't write it down, I will not remember it. More than one story in the same world means different character in different parts of the world too. Yeah. I mean, I haven't like fully planned out any other stories yet, but yeah, I want to write a bunch of stories in this world. Some potentially about the same character going to like different places, or it could be some about different characters. It could be, you know, this is also the world of my VTuber lore, so, you know, it could be about me. Probably not, but maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I just basically want to make a world that I can make lots of stories of different lengths. Some will be short stories, some will be longer stories. But yeah, so right now the novel I'm gonna work on now, I think, is gonna be basically about one character and their kind of journey of self-discovery on the Western continent. But then yeah, I like to write stories about things happening on other continents and the islands and stuff. But yeah, so that's my plan so far. It's like I'm building a world which I'll then tell lots of stories out of. So like the most anime world, East more Asia, North more Europe, and West more. No, I don't think so. I mean, it'll probably be kind of a mix mash of elements from all the different main cultures, just because that's kind of how my last story turned out. I'm guessing it'll be the same. But yeah, no, this one, it's more like differences in the region will be more based around the like ecosystem than like the culture of the people there. So it's like the Western continent is more, it is more of like a forest, tribal, like village type of thing. So it's kind of more, I don't know, I guess you could think like fantasy village type of situation. And then yeah, the main continent I haven't quite decided. It's the more urban area, but I'm not quite sure what that means yet. Hey, welcome in, New Time Chatter. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yes, you may ask a question. Ask away. But yeah, so the different areas, there won't be like a huge cultural difference. It's more, yeah, just like kind of the industries around them, I guess, if that makes sense. Can I point you in the direction of a smart streamer? What do you mean by a smart streamer? I mean like someone with a PhD? I do know a streamer who has a PhD in physics? I don't know, he has a PhD in something. that what you mean by a smart streamer? Are you looking for like an academic streamer? Because there are some of those. Or a coding smart streamer? Okay, so like a therapist type streamer. Oh, not therapist. Group theory. I can read. Group theory. I'm not even sure what group theory is. So, I don't know. What is group theory? Let me Google that. I probably don't actually know anyone that could help with that, but I can look. Not group therapy, group theory. There we go. Oh, abstract algebra. Oh, maybe actually. I do know, I haven't watched any of their streams in a while because the timing just never works out, but I do know a couple maths people. I don't know if they do group theory, but oh wait, yeah. Let me see if I can remember what their handle is. I only have one, I think. I don't actually even know how much they stream anymore. But I do have one who I think they're a grad student in the UK, and they're doing some sort of math. I don't remember what it is. I guess I follow too many people. What are their names? I think it's like Cat Does Math, maybe? Something like that. Let me see if I can find them. Yeah, Cat Does Math. They do fluid dynamics though, so I don't know if that would help. Yeah, I'm gonna do it now that I found them. Assuming I can type. Typing has been a struggle today. Let me make sure that's the right one. Yeah. So it doesn't look like they've no, well, they streamed last month, it looks like. But yeah, so they do like co-working streams and other things. To be honest, I mostly watch their co-working streams. Alright, that's cool. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah. Sorry I couldn't help more. That's the only sort of math person I know. But yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day. And now I will close that. I do kind of want to watch more of those streams. I never got to watch very many. They're kind of interesting. I like fluid dynamics. It's fun. This song is very quiet. But it's almost up. That's fine. Okay. What was I doing? Great. That's what I'm doing. Math stream sounds boring. I mean, it does depend on the stream. I mean, any stream can be boring or exciting depending on how the person does it. The few ones that I saw her do weren't particularly boring because they also weren't math streams per se. There were co-working streams where she was working on math. So it wasn't like a straight up math lecture. Though I think she might do some streams like that sometimes, where it is more learning about math. But I think most of her streams are just like co-working streams. So now I do want to find like math streams. That sounds fun. Like I haven't done like properly done math in ages now. And you know, math is fun when there are letters involved. I hate math when there are no letters. Like addition, subtraction, multiplication, like mental math, I hate it. But algebra and calculus is super fun. Okay, calculus is fun unless you have a teacher that makes it very not fun, because I did have that happen. If you have a mean teacher, then it's not fun. But the calculus itself is kind of fun. You only like math when you use it to build something. Well, yeah. Math is most fun when you have a purpose behind it. And yeah, just doing math for the sake of math is, yeah, rather boring. I'm not a fan of it. But using math for, like in my case, physics, that's when it got really fun. When you're using math to like solve a problem. That's the most fun. Yeah, doing math for the sake of math is kind of boring. Okay. I think that's good for the government section. It's a basic structure anyways. I mean, in reality there's probably more details I could put in, but the basic structure's there, and that's kind of all I care about right now. We'll move on to class and social structure. My goodness, I've been streaming for an hour already. I feel like that hour went by really fast. And I could tell that I was really focused in that hour because I haven't even finished 1 cup of tea yet. I mean, there are many streams where I go through 2 cups of tea within an hour. But apparently I was too focused on working to drink my tea. Which means we'll go a little longer before I take a break. Or I could take a quick break now. Now, actually, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break right now. Yeah. We're at a kind of good breaking point. Oh, yeah. We're going to take a quick break, so feel free, get up, stretch your legs, get some food, get some water, do whatever you need to do, and then we will be back in a few minutes, and I'll start working on class and social structure. Very exciting. Alright, be right back. Alright, I'm back. I taken myself some more water. So now my current cup of tea is like half tea, half water. Although to be honest, it was pretty weak tea to start with. Okay, on to class and social structure. You know, it's kind of sad that I've got to the point where I kind of wish I had 4 monitors, which is excessive. But sometimes I want to have 4 things open at once. Well, 4 things open full screen at once, and you can't do that with 3 monitors. Anywho, I can manage. I can open and close windows. Especially because I don't have room for a 4th monitor on my desk. My desk is already full. Well, yeah, 2 is enough, technically speaking. Well, yeah, 2's enough. I don't need 4, but if I had 4, I could then have OBS on 1 monitor, my web browser, which is mostly like the Twitch interface, and then whatever else I need to see, and then whatever I'm working on stream on the 3rd monitor, and then the 4th monitor would have like Discord or Messenger open. So yeah, I don't need 4, but I could easily use 4. Or you could also, you know, if you're one of those people who streams while also listening to a stream, because I have done that before. So I could have, my 4th monitor could have someone else's stream open so I could listen to their stream while doing my own stream. I don't always do that, but I do occasionally. But yeah, no, 4 monitors is excessive. Well, yes and no. It's like what I'm working on my main screen. Normally, I want full screen just because it's easier to format on OBS and stuff, or looks better. OBS kind of needs to be full screen, otherwise everything would be too small. My other monitor that has like my web browser doesn't necessarily need to be full screen, so yeah, I could. Well, okay, also the other problem is my 2 side monitors are rather small, so if like something's not full screen, you can't see it. If I had a bigger 2nd monitor, then yeah, you could definitely do multiple things on one screen, but my secondary monitors aren't that big. You have 2 the same size and that's enough for you? That's good. But smaller one would be a problem. Yeah. Yeah, in some ways it would be ideal to have two decent sized screens, because yeah, then you could have, like, multiple things open on one screen, but I didn't do that. So I have like one decent sized screen and then two small ones. Partially because my desk isn't that big. And I will admit, I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting more monitors, because the more monitors you have, the harder it is to use a one monitor system. Like, I've been using 2+ monitors for so long now that anyone who does things with like one monitor are like god tier to me. It's like, how do you manage? I don't think I could do it. I mean, I could, but it's like, that just seems like such a pain. Like, I need my multiple monitors. Part of me really wants to answer this question about the food, but at the same time, like, I don't think it matters. I don't know what I would put for it. I'm probably gonna skip this one. I think I'm gonna put this one down at the bottom. It's like, it's an interesting question, but I don't think it's really relevant for what I'm doing. Well, this one could be interesting. Let's work on the education system. Okay. And now, not national anthem section. That's the one problem with just shuffling a classical genre on Epidemic Sound is they have a bunch of national anthems, and I'm just like, that's not what I want. I find them very distracting. Trying to focus. You'd like to get bored and do math perfectly. Yeah, that would be useful. I mean, okay. I don't know what level of math they are born with. Like, you might need to learn how to do calculus. I don't know. But, you know. They at least have a basic grasp of math. Because they're essentially born as, like, an adult, essentially. But yeah, they kind of need some basic skills. Yeah, that certainly would be useful. Not have to, yeah, learn basic stuff. Cause yeah, you get born, you know the basics, and then you can go learn magic. That's more or less how this works in this world. Well, okay, sort of. You're born, you know the basics, and then you basically have to figure out who in the world you are, and then you can start learning magic. More or less the order of operations. Imagine a freshborn child looks to his mother and say, where am I? That, honestly, that's kind of a disturbing image. Something similar that happened in an anime I watched. I'm like, I don't like this. But yeah, that doesn't happen in this story. Because people are just like created as full-grown adults, so they're never a little child speaking like adult, because that would be kind of creepy. But yeah, in what's it called? Misfit of the Demon King Academy or something like that. It has a long name. But yeah, it kind of has that instance where the like demon or the reincarnated demon king is born, and that's like, yeah, Misfit of the Demon King Academy. And that's like 2 days old. He's like, hello parents, I am the Demon King. And I'm just like, it's creepy. Funny, but creepy. But that show itself is great. I love that show. Like, it's not the highest quality show ever, but it's a nice, like, chill, fun, relaxing show. Yeah, it's a fun show. And yeah, he is way too strong, but that's kind of the point. I was going to say I need to watch that show again, but I listened to it not long ago. Like, it's a good show for falling asleep to. Like, I've watched it so many times that I sometimes just turn it on in the background and listen to it while I fall asleep. So technically speaking, I've gone through the story many, many times. About half of which I actually like looked at the screen while I was listening to it. Okay, this is a very interesting question in this context, at least. What's the biggest struggle or obstacle most people in the world face? You think that's not exactly how anime works? What, listening to it instead of watching it? Or something else? Yes, I do highly suggest watching anime versus listening to it. But listening to it does have its uses. Well, okay. Assuming you're listening to it in a language you know. So it's like, I don't listen to Japanese ones because I wouldn't know what they're saying. Oh yeah, listening to it and sleeping. I mean, I only do it for shows that, like, I've watched quite a few times. So it's like, I already know the story. It's just background noise. So it's kind of like listening to an audiobook when you fall asleep. It's essentially the same premise. Like, you already know the story. So it's just kind of background noise. Obviously, I wouldn't, like, do that the first time I was watching an anime. Unless it was an anime that... Well, no, I wouldn't do it for falling asleep. I have... For some shows, I have just, like, put them on in the background because I'm like, I don't want to watch the show, but at the same time, I want to either, like, hear some of the voice actors or just get, like, the basic premise of this show. So I have done that, in which case I was, like, semi-watching it the first time. Yeah, just straight up listening to fall asleep. That's just for shows that I've watched multiple times. Heaven Official's Blessing is another good one for falling asleep too, because it has really pretty music. And it's not, like, too all over the place. So I find it kind of exciting when I find an anime that is great to watch, but also great for falling asleep to. Because not all shows that are great to watch are good for falling asleep to. But it's nice when you can, because then you can still kind of experience the story without having to, like, put in... without having to find the time to sit down and watch the show. Just, yeah, it's a different way to experience the stories. Okay, this is a very interesting question for this world, because they essentially live in, like, live in a paradise in a way. So it's like, what is the biggest struggle or obstacle most of them face? Maybe they are too smart. Smart people don't want to do basic stuff. That is an interesting idea. I don't think that's what the case will be in this world, but that is an interesting idea. It could be an interesting, like, writing prompt. A world where people are too smart and don't want to do the basic stuff. Then yeah, interesting idea. Not for this context, but interesting idea. Alright, we've been going for almost another hour again, so we're going to take another quick break, and then I'm going to move on to working on sources of power, energy, and magic. Start developing that a bit more. Yeah, Feel free to get up, stretch your legs, get some food, get some water. Do whatever you need to do. I should probably go grab some food. Grab a snack, because I'm going to get hungry soon. So yeah, do what you need to do, and we will be back in a few minutes. Get back. Alright, I'm back. Now to figure out more of the details on like power, energy, magic, and technology, which I've sort of started. That's a very good question, which I'm kind of developing at the moment. I think everyone can learn any type of magic they choose, but I am thinking I might put a limit on the number you can use. Because I think before I was like, oh, people usually only choose like 1 or 2 to study because, you know, it just takes effort to learn them all. But they're immortal, so technically they could learn them all over time, which I don't think I want. So yeah, I might put in a limit where basically you have to choose how many, or like either you have to choose how many, or there's some sort of like limit on the number of spells. So it's like for example, you could learn, obviously these aren't the right numbers, but simplistic example, it could either be like you can learn 30 spells total, so you could learn like all 10, you could learn 10 spells in 3 types, or you could learn like 1 spell in 30 types, or I could set so you can only choose like 3 types to learn spells for. That's why I need to decide right now. See, if there's no limit, then you'll just end up with someone who knows all the magic, and I don't think I want that. So, at the same time, there might not be a problem with allowing that. So like the essentially a situation of like an immortal who decides to get like all the PhDs in the world. Which I'm like, you know, that wouldn't necessarily be a problem. It's like, would anyone do that? 2, would that cause problems? It probably would. They'll probably do a limit. Yeah, something like that. You're born with slots and you choose which one. Everyone has a different amount of slots. I don't know if I would do that. Maybe. Okay, I need to think about this. I hadn't thought about this element of it. Because yeah, letting everyone learn as much magic as they want makes sense if, you know, they have a mortal lifetime, because then that automatically limits how much magic you could learn. But we're dealing with immortals here. So technically speaking, they could learn all the magic. Which... yeah, which I don't think I want to do. Because then, like, everyone would become self-sufficient, essentially. And that's not very exciting. At the same time, I don't know if it exactly makes sense. The way I've kind of visualized the magic, I don't know how I could make it make sense that you could only choose a limited number. Okay. Lots of brainstorming now. Let's figure this out. I mean, I guess the way I could, like, argue or justify or explain whatever way you want to say it, them having a limited number of spells they can do could be, oh, I feel like the best way to visualize it is like if their brain is like a computer. One sec. Excuse me as I sneeze. The brain is like a computer and they have just like a limited amount of memory to store spells. Which seems kind of weird, but I think is like the best way to explain why. Because it's either that or I need to change how the magic works. Because at the moment, it's not like you have like an attunement to a certain type of magic. Though I guess I could do that. If everyone can learn everything, it would end in war, like humans are. Yeah. Yes and no. The way this world is set up, I don't think it would end in that. It would just... yeah. I don't know that it would end in war. It would just kind of end in everyone just kind of living on their own, doing their own thing. But yeah, so I guess I could make it sort of like magic attunement sort of thing. We can only attune to a certain number of elemental energies. Okay, that could work actually. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. You can choose, say, I'll have to pick a number now, but yeah, maybe you could choose like 5 elemental energies that you can use. And therefore at most you could master 5 magic types. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, that would still give people the like flexibility of being able to use multiple types, but would also stop people from being able to use all the types. You could probably switch it out too. It's like if you learned, so you learned fire, but then later on decided you want to use water instead, you could basically switch. You would give up your attunement to fire and attune to water instead. But you would have to relearn. Okay, maybe that wouldn't work. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that would work. You'd have to relearn all the spells. So somehow by attuning, you like lose the muscle memory essentially of how to do the spells of that element. Okay, that could work. Okay, we'll write that down for now, see how it feels. I think that's gonna work. Are they normal jobs in your world? As in jobs that don't use magic? Yeah. I mean, most people use like a basic amount of magic in their like day-to-day life, so there might not be a job that strictly speaking does not use any magic. But yeah, there are normal non-magical jobs. Or at very least ones that don't require like extensive training. Maybe some spells you can only use for jobs. Maybe. Okay, I think I like this idea. Oh, yeah, you have to attune to certain elemental types. I'll now have to figure out what that attunement actually means and how it works, but yeah, I think this works better. Because yeah, then it limits someone learning all the magic, which would kind of destroy the whole social system. Okay. Yeah, I like that limitation. They can only attune to 5 or less elemental types at a time. Hey Dead Shores, welcome in. How you doing? We're discussing magic systems at the moment, trying to figure out the details of how magic works in my world. Uh-oh, you can't unmute Twitch. Of course, if you couldn't unmute, you couldn't hear that. Ah yes, good old turn it off, turn it back on again. Oh yeah, welcome back now that you can hear. Yeah, I'm figuring out the magic system in my world. We just decided, I think, that in my world you can only attune to 5 or fewer elemental types at a time. I think I'm liking this. Of course, in general, most people probably wouldn't master 5 types anyways, because that requires a lot of work, and it's not necessary unless you're doing a job where you need advanced spells. So most people would probably have like a handful of basic spells for 5 different types. And then at most you could master 5 types if you so desired. Yeah, I think that sounds good. It keeps the power balance reasonable. Father, I thought I was almost done. I thought I remembered I haven't done the history section yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure my world has some important historic events, but I haven't thought about it. I probably should get at least have some idea. Maybe it might be relevant? I don't know. Time to have a think about history now. And how old the world is. Which, to be honest, the answer to how long has your world existed is probably just a very long time. Because it's a world of immortals. And they don't really keep track of time anyways. Well, they don't know how long the world has existed. It just existed for a long time. Okay, I guess one important historic event is, well, it depends on how the world was populated. Because if it started on like the central continent, important historic events could be people moving to the other continents. Although, except I distributed resources around the different continents, so they'll kind of need to populate all of them pretty quickly in order to get all the resources. So never mind, maybe that doesn't make sense. Oh no. It's hard to come up with like important historical events in what is more or less an eternal paradise. Like, I'm sure, you know, significant things happen, but I don't know if it's something I really need to like plot out before writing my story. Alright, thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a bit. It was good to see you and chat about stuff. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day and just a great however long until I see you again. In other news, I can't decide if I like this song or not. It's not very long though, so I'll leave it on. Not quite the vibe I'm going for, but it's okay. Oh, I could potentially add some festivals. Maybe. Maybe they just have two, the Harvest Festival and the Star Festival. That might be enough for now. Okay, I think I have more or less finished the world section, this little worksheet theme. At least initially. I'll probably develop it more as I write, and I still need to make the detailed map. Which I will do some point soonish. Probably not today because I think I want to do it digitally and it would take too much effort to reorganize my desk and everything to be ready for doing digital art. So I'll do that later. But yeah, besides that, I think... Okay, actually what I need to add to this is I do need basically a whole section where for details on different magic types. That is... Oh, I used heading 1, not heading 2. I guess I'll start just making kind of a running list of different magic types or different elemental types. Yeah, I'll start by just... I brainstormed a whole list a while ago, so I'll start by basically just copying that over. And then... after Yawn, and then I will go in and develop each point a little more, add some notes about the different types. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Okay, I wrote this list so long ago that I'm not quite sure what I was thinking with some of these, such as temperature. I don't really know what that means, so I'm actually gonna put a question mark on that because like I don't remember what I meant by that. To be honest, I might not have actually meant anything. I might have just been doing like essentially a word dump because some of these I'm like not quite sure what I meant by that. I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, temperature in particular, I'm like, I don't think there's actually gonna be temperature elemental type because that doesn't really make sense. But I'll leave it on the list for now. Okay, I really was like word dumping because a lot of these are kind of also interrelated or overlap. Well, that's fine. A word dump is a good place to start. Alright. I have gotten quite a bit done today. Still have ways to go. Got a very, very basic plot. Or very basic plot outlined. I'm liking where the world building's at. I still need to draw the map. That's basically the next thing I need to do is I need to draw a detailed map for at least the Western continent. I don't think I need to draw a detailed map for the rest of the world for this story. I do for the Western continent. I'll do that. We'll see if I do that on stream or off stream. It depends. I might do that over the weekend. I might do that on stream on Monday. We'll see. But that is more or less the next thing I need to do. And then I need to start developing the main character a bit. But yeah, so to be honest, my brain is kind of soup at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. A decent length stream, 3 hours. We are gonna go raid a pixel wizard who is doing pixel art. If I can spell their name. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna go over there, go hang out with him, watch him, do some fun pixel art. I don't know, my brain is soup. If you would like to use a raid message, there's our raid messages. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow, 7 AM Pacific time. We're gonna be playing Hades. I'm excited to play that. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. I hope you had a good time. There'll be more working on this world building next week. It's probably what I'm gonna do most of next week, to be honest, because this is taking me a while. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great however long until I see you again. So yeah, until next time, bye bye.